The U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments on the Affordable Care Act's prevention mandate. That's the part of the Affordable Care Act that requires health insurers to cover certain preventative services, and those arguments have been scheduled for April 21st. It was back in March of 2024 that a judge in Texas ruled the Affordable Care Act's prevention mandate as unconstitutional, and a Fifth Circuit judge agreed. The Biden administration appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, but then the administration changed hands, and it wasn't clear if the Trump administration's Department of Justice would defend the law, would stop enforcement of the coverage requirement, or maybe weaken the requirements. In what is being called somewhat of a surprise move, it is reported that the Trump administration said it will continue the Biden administration's defense of the law. They're going to continue to defend the requirement that insurers cover certain preventative services. There is some concern, however. Some legal experts are worried about the arguments as presented by the new Department of Justice. They say the arguments indicate a desire to give the new Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., substantial control over a task force that determines what is considered preventative. Now, that task force had been at issue in the lawsuit all along. The task force is not appointed by Congress. The Biden administration defended that task force as an independent volunteer panel of national experts in disease prevention and evidence-based medicine. The preventative service requirement has been in effect since 2010. It extends coverage of evidence-based preventative services such as cancer screenings, tobacco cessation, and immunizations without cost sharing to about 150 million people each year. Trump's new Department of Health and Human Services Secretary believes he has ultimate say over both the individual members of that task force panel and the recommendations that come out of the task force. We will wait and see what comes out of the court. In the meantime, you can read more. We link to resources in the description below.